Good afternoon, everybody. Emergency stream right now to refactor the NHL API because all my puck holders are broken as of like 2 days ago. Quick recap for those that have watched any of this channel, you probably know I built the stat feeder puck holder, holds a nice hockey puck here, maybe a signed puck, and shows your team's stats after every game. It updates automatically, connects to your Wi Fi. Right now, it says the Capitals are 5-4-1. I don't know how well you can see that, but 5-4-1. That does not account for their overtime loss last night, which I'm still upset about. So they should be 5-4-2, have 12 points instead of 11. And, it says their next game is Wednesday versus Florida, which was actually their game yesterday. And so this is a problem. Everybody that bought a puck holder from me is not getting updated stats. And so the way I've been doing this is I use the NHL API, and I've always had it as a backup to that a service that I could use, but that service now seems to have gone out of business. And the other service I checked on wanted $5,000, and so we're just going to do what we did before, and we're going to look up and try to figure out how the new API works. So right now, what you're looking at is this is the stats API that I'm using, and this is what you'll get for every call. This site can't be reached. DNS probe possible, but blah, it's down. They just flip the switch off, it's done. And so I looked it up and then found this on Reddit. Yep, sure enough, everybody else has seen it too, not just my machine. The NHL API is down. But Drew Hines, our favorite NHL API documenter, shout out, who has an amazing set of pages and docs in this repo for the now legacy deprecated no longer works API. Apparently has, as of a month ago, kind of new API that talks about this. But I was having a hard time. I mean, it's clearly not as documented as his other one. I don't even know. It doesn't even show that he pointed this. Leo Lewis, I think, just another community member. Not trying to throw shade, Leo. It's just I couldn't get all the things figured out based on the stuff that's here. But you'll notice like it's a little all over the map. You've got API-web.nhle. Sometimes you've got, where was it? API.nhle. Sometimes it just goes straight into the endpoint, like /stats. Sometimes it has this -v1. And so I wasn't making it very far. And so what I wanted to show is how I went about this the first time and how I went about this again this time to get this working again. And sorry, I'm going to switch screens here a couple times because I was having some technical difficulties trying to stream a little bit ago. Okay, so the way I do this is I open up. Let's start fresh. This is from my previous thing here. I come to let's open up tools here. I come to the network tab, and then I just go to nhl.com. And you'll see a ton of things come through. And then what you can do is say, well, I'm looking for like NHLE. So let's do a sort on that. Okay, now I'm getting some things down here. Let's sort on API-web. Let's do that. Let's go API-web. Okay, now look at this. I've got this now endpoint, scoreboard now. I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to do copy link address. I'm going to come over here to a new tab and paste it in just like it is. And look at that. I have data. Okay, so this scoreboard is really what powers this scoreboard at the top of the NHL.com website. So, and you can see there's a bunch of other stuff like goalie stats leaders, and then this one's goalie stats leaders again. This is the scoreboard again. This is skater stats leaders. This is skater stats leaders again. Okay, status 307 and 200. I see what's happening there. Redirects. Okay, so what you can do is just start copying these. Right click, copy link address, and paste them into your favorite text editor, and just start building up a list of all of the things. And you can, like I just did, you just come over here, you drop it in a tab and see what data you get. Now, this didn't have the data that I'm looking for. And so All I did was just start to say like, well, what am I really looking for? I'm looking for this is well, yeah, sorry. I came to standings. This is from when I was looking at this earlier. I came to standings. Standings has kind of what I'm looking for. It's got wins, losses, overtime losses, points, and it has the ranking of things. And you can see here, right down here, we just call standings slash the date. And you don't even actually have to call it that way. I'm going to show you how this works. If we do copy link address and we come over here, we paste it. If you just do now, it'll redirect. It'll redirect to today. And then you can see we have all of this information. I'm a huge Capitals fan. I'm not going to bore you with it. I already copied it. And so if we come up here, I copied it into VS Code. I hit format, and this is what it spits out for me. It's amazing. It's everything that I'm looking for. The naming's a little interesting, like division sequence. This is the rank. The Caps are currently 5th in the Metro, but it has tons more information than the old summary API call did, and it has our losses. So we are 5, 4, and 2 OT losses, and then the wins are down here at the bottom. Wins 5, 4, and 2. Our win percentage, our streak. I also display that on the screen. So I need win, loss, overtime, loss. Got it. I can just calculate the points, but turns out you don't need to. It's part of the API as well. So if you don't want to do math, the division rank again is this division sequence right here. I love this division last 10 sequence. Like we're 4th in the Metro over the last 10 games. In home, our home record is 10, or sorry, is 2. Is our record. Division rank is 2. So anyway, some interesting information there. And then what else is on there? Oh, and then the result of the last game, and then when the next game is. And so this has the whole top half of the puck holder, and then the bottom 2 lines are result of last game, when is the next game, against who, home or away, at what time. And so that is the only piece of information we lack at this point. And so I'm going to get rid of a whole bunch of these tabs and figure out where was that. I'm going to pull this back over. Schedule. Let's go to schedule. Okay, beautiful. And this is gonna. Oh, okay. We're so close to having everything that we need. Okay, well, let's look at a couple of these first. This is schedule calendar now. Cool. I'm gonna right click, copy link address, paste it over here in my text editor. Like I just collect the URLs, collect all the URLs, hit them, figure out what data where. In these, I just want to point out, I don't want to go in depth on it. It's back on the stats page. There is, it's like a cayenne expression. Let me just see if we can come here, go stats, open up the tools, refresh the page. API, it's not API web. This time it's just NHLE. API.NHLE. But okay, let's come into here. No. Here we go. Cayenne. You see this like cayenne expression? Feels like a little bit of bleeding of an abstraction out to the user if we want to talk software engineering and architecture. But I was just curious, like cayenne expression, like if this would give us any insight of like what kind of here we go. All right, so interesting. It looks like they may be using something. This Let's do Cayenne API queries. Advanced querying and Apache Cayenne. So this is, I'm assuming, exactly what they're using, taking it from the URL. So anyway, my point in saying this is I won't need it, and I probably won't dig into it, but you can see a bunch of patterns start to emerge as you look at these expressions. Let's just grab one here for an example. Do copy link address. Let's come over here. It's going to be, okay, so this is leaders, goalies, save percentage, and then it says, give me the 2023-24 season. So we'll hit enter on that. We're going to get a whole bunch of data here. Jeremy Swayman. Okay. So anyway, so that's the leaders for this year. We've got Jeremy Swayman. Where's the next one? Canucks. Who would that be? Semyon Varlamov. Okay. But now we can come in here, and if you have any coding experience, you can probably start to figure out, like, okay, I'm doing season equals this, and game type equals, and games played is greater than 20. So that's really cool that you can do that. But let's just say, well, I want to go back to last season. So I'm going to go 2022, 2023. You can start to play with these things a little bit, and you can see, oh, this was, who's this? Joseph Wall, Linus Olmark. Oh, yeah, he had a monster here last year. So anyway, as you're copying these links and messing around, you can start to see how that works. So, and I have frozen. My background's frozen again. Ugh. Stand by. We're gonna fix that. Okay, and we're back. Okay, I think just that cut out at the very end of that. My point being, look at all of these, look at the expressions that are showing, and then you can figure out how to change the expression here to filter the data, sort it. There's a whole bunch of things you can do there. So just something to be aware of. Okay, so back to my problem, which is I need schedule information. And I think we were just about there before I got distracted. And that is right here. We've got this now, schedule calendar now. That redirects, yeah. So now we'll redirect to the day. And what was this one? Schedule now. Schedule calendar now. That's interesting. So like this shows, I'm gonna copy both of these. Copy link address. So we've got a schedule calendar now and a schedule now. And then what was this one? Oh, this is from the redirect. Schedule calendar now. Location. Yep, I am in the US. Okay. So, but now I'm gonna clear that. And I just want like one team. So let's do the, it's not gonna let me type. So we find the Washington Capitals. Okay. And see, look at that. That's exactly what I need. Okay. So this is the same thing, schedule calendar, but this is the one that I really want. Copy link address. We're going to put this over here in our notepad. Gedit. And beautiful. Like now, if we call that, this is the Washington Capitals. Previous start date, 11/2. That is not accurate. That's weird. I mean, our last game was yesterday, so it was the 8th. Um, let's just grab the whole thing. Save it. Come back up here. Tab new. And recipe format. Ooh, it didn't like that. Is it not like valid JSON? Oh, okay, there we go. We just had to do it twice. Okay. So previous on the 2nd, and the next is the 16th. See, that's not right either. That's next Thursday. That's really weird. But our next is the 10th, which is tomorrow, and we do play New Jersey. So that's great. New Jersey. And then we've got this one, 11-11. Oh, do we have a back-to-back? That's cool. Okay. 11-14. Okay, so this is giving us into the future. I don't know where this 2023. I'm not sure where this is coming from. Like 11. Oh no, that's our next game. What am I talking about? Previous start date. Yeah, okay, sorry. I don't know what this previous start date was. Okay. All right. Well, cool. This gives me, I mean, all I need to do is grab games 0, right? Because the next it puts them in order. We're gonna assume that that's always true. We have a back to back, so we play, and then we can confirm that just by coming down here and looking at it. We play on the 10th, the 11th, the 14th. Here we go. I wonder if we can hit back here and see what we get. Watch this. We're gonna clear, and then we're gonna hit back. Ooh. It just calls. Gotcha. Look at that. 1102. So what did it actually? Okay. So check this out. I'm going to copy this link. $11.9. Well. Okay, got it. I figured it out. Okay. So you can say week starting today, or I mean, I imagine I can just make this yesterday when we played. And sure enough, I bet that added Florida. Copy. And let's oops. Tab new. Format document. Format document. Okay, and now, yeah, look at that. So now the very first game is this one, which was Florida. We lost. OT loss. This is funny. Airline, fly JetBlue, like we've got like ads or like embedding ads in the API. It's really interesting. Hilton hotel link for like the home team. Because we were at home. Oh, that's fascinating. For Florida, it was away, so you would need an airline and a hotel. For Washington, it's home. You would just need a hotel link. And so stay with Hilton. That's really, and then it gives you a spot for it. That is wild. Okay, I guess you put whatever you want in the API. The winning goalie was Bobrovsky. Daggone it. Yep, Reinhardt scored an OT. Jerk. Okay, and then the next game. So it's really just a matter of the way I called this before. There was a way like where it gave me last game and next game, like all in one call. And so I guess it's just a matter of knowing when their game is when I make the API call. I'll have to think through that. But anyway, this should give me all of the data I need because in this call, let me just make sure. Games, home ID, yeah, score. So I've got the score because I put like last was it 4-3? Yep, 4-3 loss and OT. Um, versus who it was, and then the next game, yeah, and then it's just what's the game state? Is that what it's called? Yeah, game state. Game state off. I'm assuming that's like it's official, as in like it's officially done. I don't know. FUT future, and then all these are going to be future. And so another thing I would do as I am like trying to figure out the API as I'm doing this is as you're looking through this, you start to see the data and how it like you get a little bit of like the matrix going on. But like as I'm looking at this, what I'm thinking of is I get a game state future. I'm assuming off is like official. What I'll do is I'll come down later tonight when games are actually in progress. I'll find a team that's playing tonight, do the API call for them during the game to see what the state is. Like what is the game state while a game is happening. And so that's it. I think my mission is clear. I think I have all of the information that I need to get puck holders back up and running. And so that's going to be my evening. Yeah. I will come down later tonight and I will bang on this hopefully until I get it done and I can get people's puck holders back up and running with a new back end. Now, as a very quick aside, when designing systems. So I'm going to step out of like my current problem and go up to high level software developer, architect, whatever you want to say, engineer, and talk about a little bit of how I architected this, which will be helpful for me in this case, which is because I wanted to hyper optimize the response time because these are battery powered and the battery life is really good, like close to a year. You get like a year on a single charge. I don't want it taking forever. So I don't want the puck holder um, I don't want this thing checking in and then having to wait like 4 seconds, 5 seconds while it's doing. And by the way, I don't know what it's like now. I guess we could look at it. The old API sometimes was dog slow. I mean, really, really slow. Um, this doesn't seem so bad. How do I see time? Like, I want to let me expand it out. There we go. 376, 390. So like my current response times for my puck holders are like sub 150 milliseconds. So when they call in to get data to display for customers, I'm below 200 for sure. Now to get stats, I'm gonna have to make several, like 2, 3, maybe 3 calls to get everything. So you burn that up to like a second, 2 seconds, depending on how slow things are. Then I'm doing data manipulation and then I'm returning it. Like I could have like a several second response time, which just absolutely tanks. Like on these embedded devices, time connected to Wi-Fi and the internet is your battery killer. The screen's like virtually nothing to update, but uh, so the way I handle this is I create an interface barrier between the two. So I'm collecting that data outside of the process of the pucks, which will actually make it really easy for me to switch to whatever I'm going to write tonight. Um, it's not gonna, I won't even have to actually go in and change the back end that's running currently for puck holders. So just an interesting, design decision that I'm gonna pat myself on the back for, because I won't even need to redeploy the back end. I will redeploy the service that fetches stats, and it will just fetch them in a different way than it did before. But everything else is the same. I will store them the same way I do now. I will fetch them the same way I do now. And so things to think about as you're developing, how you can create clear, you know, API lines between different parts of your service to protect against things like this. So I will end on that note. I appreciate you watching. Hopefully this will help you get back up and running with your NHL API project, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks.